observed. Despite a zooming economy, widespread new construction, and the obvious marks of prosperity, Tokyo remains a city whose future is rooted in the past. Recent elections returned.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Trial and Aaron podcast. We call it The Tap. I am your host, Aaron, the resident podmaster, and squirming in my arms right now is the one and only, the co-host with the most, little Kit Kat. Hello, Kit Kat. She's so cute. Do you have anything you want to say to the people? Silence. Very strong, very powerful, and it's as strong as powerful as you are cute. I mean, just look at you. If anybody's been following my Instagram, you know I'm head over heels for this tiny little feline, and just over-the-top posts. Way too many, far too many, and guess what? They're not going to stop. If anything, I'm going to post more of them because she's so goddamn adorable, and she likes sitting on the silky flag that I have laying on the ground here. The Jamaican flag. It's yet to go up on the goddamn, what do I call this place? The lunchbox. The lunchbox studio. On the walls. I have so many goofy shit on the walls, and I got it in Jamaica, actually. Long time ago, but that's a tale for a different podcast. Today is a solo mission. Well, not including Kit, of course, and my friend Evan Williams. Oh, the best swill money could buy. And, yeah, I'm going to talk about, if anybody didn't already know this about me, my occupation is a newspaper writer, content creator. I write for the Winners Express and the Davis Enterprise, both owned by McNaught Media. And I actually get off on what I do. It's really cool. I learn a lot about people, the things going on. It's actual news, factual. There's no point in this where I'm like, how can I twist this into fitting my agenda and the agenda of my political party, and how can I distort the truth in such a way that I can consume the minds, hearts, and souls of everybody who reads my jibber jabber. That's not the case. I am on a veritable sinking ship of a medium, but I could care less because it's a lot of fun, and I really want to start digitizing the experience more, a lot more so. Big plans coming for the Winners Express YouTube channel, and just really making digital content the next phase for, at least for the Winners Express. I do part-time for Davis Enterprise. I cover the school district and also do little stories, business bios, which are still a lot of fun. A lot of local mom pop shops. I love telling their story. That's probably what I like the most. And so this episode I've written down kind of what I've written within the past month, just giving details of why you should, subscribe to the Winners Express, because the news is an important part of any town or city, just being in the know of what's going on. I covered the police reports for one of my coworkers when she went on vacation, and it is some wild shit. Woodland, the Wild West. People stealing cars, trying to run out of the mall. Getting caught like the idiots they are. And they are always in their late teens or early 20s. These fools are just wasting their lives. Why would you do that? Why? I'm sure there's answers, but I don't really care. Dummies. But anyways, it was enjoyable. Just covering the beats. There's so much going on, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it right here. I'm going to start off with the Davis Enterprise and then end with the whammies that is the motherfucking Winners Express. So here we go. It's been kind of a rough month for the Davis Joint Unified School District, and Davis in general. There's a couple of just gnarly things that I guess unfortunately are somewhat of the norm in Davis, which kind of blows my mind because it's such an inclusive, egalitarian, and diverse and progressive city. Davis is dope, regardless of what you think about it. Yes, they're maybe a little more woke than other places, but damn it, there's good people. There's hardworking people. There's mom pop shops that are there, but also the school districts. Hey, they care about their students. And back to what I was going to talk about. I guess a month ago, an overpass on 113, a couple of local neo-Nazis, some young white men wearing ski masks, black ski masks, just looking like just complete jackasses, the classic terrorists that you'd expect. And they have a poster, a giant piece of butcher paper they put over the overpass with a message along the lines of the Holocaust didn't happen. The Holocaust didn't happen. It's all gypsy propaganda and nonsense. And one of the reporters from the Enterprise went over, actually talked to him, and they're just like, well, I can't really say my point of view, otherwise I'll be expelled from whatever school or this and that. And they're just two, judge a book by its cover, look like white guys, but who knows, ski masks on, and I couldn't get a good look at their faces and whatnot. But it's just, as much as I hate that even happened, it's like, if we believe in the freedom of speech, I guess everybody should be able to exercise that right in that way, where it's like hateful. Hey, Kit, I know you're excited. You get down off that desk. Okay. Anyways, I'm not sure what can or can't. I shouldn't be the one saying what can or can't be censored. It's when it's shit like that does bother me. But it's like, if you believe in freedom of speech, I mean, everybody deserves a say. But something like that where it's blatantly wrong and like a lie, because I believe the Holocaust happened, and I believe there's thousands of veterans that went to the concentration camps, and those who were in the concentration camps still alive, that will show you, not only show you their tattoos, but give you vivid details of what happened. And there's so much documentation of it. To believe it's a lie, I would give me the reasoning. But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about here. So that happened about a month ago. And then at the Davis Senior High School homecoming parade, they have a parade to go down Main Street. They go through Davis. There's hooting and hollering, music blaring, candy getting tossed from the floats, kids having a good time. And I remember it was on a Friday. They're going through, and I hear a bunch of honking of horns, people going crazy. I just hear as I'm typing away in the Davis Enterprise office, right next to Jack in the Box in Davies, and near Bubble Belly. Shout out to Bubble Belly. And there's just, it sounds, oh, what a good time going on. Must be the homecoming dance. Good for them. So I find out the following Monday that at said homecoming parade, the Black Student Union was going down F Street. And as they're going down, some fuckface in a work truck, I'm not going to say the business because it's not the business's fault, this piece of shit decided to yell what he yelled. And I guess as they're rolling by, this fuckface rolls down his window at the top of his lungs, screams, "White guy power!" Screams, "White guy power." This is 2022, mind you. You know, we're not in 1966. He yells, "White guy power." And some of the students are like, from what I've heard, the gentleman, because I reported on this, the gentleman who owns Armadillo Music, his name's Josh, first-hand account said he saw it happen. And then, of course, the students, some across the street who've been waving at their friends, supporting them the entire day, go across, they start cussing this guy out. They start accosting him. Like, what are you doing? Like, as any sane person would. Like, what the hell do you think you're doing? Like, are you serious right now? And Josh was just, he's a city council member, and he saw it all. Saw it all go down. This is first-hand witness. And then after the kids are cussing him out, he's like, "F you, white power." And then they drive off because it's like towards the end of the parade. But this guy is yelling white power in 2022 at the Black Student Union. Really, you're that big of a man, you need to yell at some fucking high school students? You're pulling that shit? Like, that's who you are? Good on you. Good on you. That just sums you up as I hesitate to call you a human being. And I'm not going to call you an animal because that'd be insulting to animals. Like Kit here. Kit! It's just, that is just hateful. And what Josh, when he spoke to me, he said, like, there was no joking around about it. It wasn't some young kid. It was just a grown adult yelling with malice in his voice, venom dripping from it, and those kids having to endure that. Hopefully, you know, as someone who's not black or brown or anything other than just a white guy, I can't empathize with that. I've never been yelled out like that before, but hopefully it makes them stronger. Be like, fuck this guy. That's going to bolster our resolve in this strive for equality, which isn't going to happen when people are shouting white power at the top of their lungs. Joke or not, go fuck yourself. Hopefully that's what he did when he drove away. Anyways, so the woes didn't end there. Later that week, so that's homecoming parade. And then the homecoming dance itself is canceled. Why? Because a bunch of bats decided to infest their main gym. Oh, the Blue Devils. There's bats in hell, I imagine. Blue hell. But good lord, they come in and infest it, and I guess the powers that be decided, "Nyet, this is not going to happen." They had to postpone their homecoming dance. At least they're going to get it. Better than not at all. And bats! Oh, those bats, those sons of bitches. Kit, you silly little shit. Jumping all over my desk. Talking about bats here. Postponing homecoming dances. What you know, co-host? She's sitting here all coy. It's gonna be hard to catch her. She doesn't like to stay in one spot for long. Kit. Come, my lady. Come, my lady. You're my butterfly. Ah, snagged you. Look at this cat. For those who are enjoying the viewing experience on YouTube, and if you're listening to it, just theater of the mind. Look at this cat. Look at her. Listen to her. She speaks in like kind of gurgle purrs. Hardly ever a meow, but just purrs and just, oh, she's so cute. Anyways, so yeah, they got the bats out, or they're attempting to. They're resolving the situation. You've unraveled my shirt, you dick. Get out of here. And then the week after that, I am bidden to go to. Usually, I watch the school board meetings online because boy howdy, to go in from 6:30 to sometimes 11:30 or beyond. These meetings go. Sometimes they're only an hour, but good lord, I just watch them online from the comfort of my own home. You know, lest I contract some wild disease. This time I was bidden to go because a bunch of teachers, the DTA, the teachers are in full revolution, not a strike. It's just kind of a fun play on words, revolution. They show up, I'd say about 100 of them at the Community Commons at 23 Russell Street in Davis. They're, man, they are, I feel like I should post on my social media. They're all out there because they want raises. Davis teachers are amongst the lowest paid, if not the lowest paid. I believe they are the lowest paid teachers in, say, 100, 200 mile radius. It is outrageous how little these teachers are paid. I was interviewing a few of them because they're, the DTA is in negotiations with the board, a board of people who are elected by the people to help steer the district in the right direction, including the superintendent, all of whom I have spoken to. They appear to be humans on the outside. They are parents. I've shaken their hands. I get smiles. I get genuine feelings from them. So it's just difficult to see such discord between them and the teachers in these negotiations where they were like, oh yeah, DTA, all you teachers, we'll raise your salaries like 1.5%. And that was a slap in the face to the teachers from what I understand, because the board isn't as transparent as where all the money goes and is allocated, but the DTA does know that California is coughing up X amount of dollars, a certain amount of increase to whatever budget. This is supposed to be a very profitable fiscal year budget-wise for California schools. So the teachers know money's coming, and the board has, I forget the thing, about 16% or some 8%. The percentages are lost me. So just think of it as a movie where the board is taking a sizable amount of money increase for whatever reasons, while the teachers, aka the cogs that keep this entire machine running, this machine known as the DJUSD, and they're getting pennies. Like, they get paid so little. One of the teachers that I spoke to said she can go to any outlying district, say Roseville, anywhere else, and make $25,000 more a year. $25,000 more, which is outrageous. So they're clearly staying because they have love and passion for this district, for what they do, and to continue. Davis is, totes itself a very educated place, and spot to live. Very educated, progressive thinking people, save for a few racist pieces of shit apparently. But if I didn't describe the DTA board thing accurately with percentages of whatever, I apologize, but the teachers are pissed. Hundreds of them showed up for a reason. So if I didn't describe it accurately, that I know happened because they're there for a reason. And they just want to get what they're owed. They're trying to get theirs after they're told plenty of times how valued they are, but it seems that it's time for the board to put the district to put their money where their mouth is and pay these teachers. Same goes for teachers everywhere, not just DJUSD, but this seems to be an ongoing thing. Pay the goddamn teachers. It's worth the fucking investment, or whatever else is going on. I'd say wherever money's being allocated these days, happy teachers are willing to go the extra mile. From what I've heard, the teachers, and what I can also assume from when I interviewed them, when you have happily happy teachers who are fiscally sound, that don't have to worry too much. Yeah, they're not going to be making money hand over fist, but at least they're going to be comfortable, and they'll be happy and more willing to participate in making the community a better place and staying long hours, even more than they already do, to help students, to help their community, to help their school, to just be everything they can be and more, when they don't have to worry about, well, I'm making like, a couple of breadcrumbs to pay my rent. What kind of incentive is that? So it's just, hopefully the situation gets rectified and the teachers are paid what they owed. Moving on. Boy, howdy, this Friday. I want to get this podcast out before this Friday, the 14th, I believe, of October. Rachel Barton Pine, a real world-renowned violinist, is coming to DHS, is coming to do a concert, a benefit concert to the Baroque Ensemble of Davis High School. They're going on a Euro trip with their teacher and orchestra conductor, Angelo Moreno, a vivacious teacher who is very passionate about what he does, and they've been to Europe 3 times. This will be the 3rd time, and they're going to go to different places, about a 2-week kind of deal with the Baroque Ensemble. It's like an old, think of it as an orchestra. And they're going to go, these high school kids going to go play at cathedrals, this classical medium, and that's got to be the coolest fucking experience I could really think of, to go and just play where kind of classical was born, so to speak. It's super poetic. And so Rachel Barton Pine, somehow Angelo got in contact with her through the Sacramento, oh my goodness, the symphony. It's, what's that word? Philharmonic, Sacramento Philharmonic. Put him in contact with her, and he's like, yo, do you mind coming and talk to my class? And this is just world-renowned, called Virtuoso. She comes in, sure. She talks to him, she starts playing violin, and then she tears into Metallica. Some Lindsey Sterling shit. Shout out Lindsey Sterling. And she just shows her stuff. It is incredible how good she is. She has paid tens of thousands of dollars just to be at places, but she's coming to this play free of charge because apparently one of her passions is early childhood musical development, and she just talk turkey with the class a little bit, and then Angelo's like, fuck it, I'm gonna push the envelope. Would you like to play at this benefit concert for my Baroque ensemble? Baroque is very like old school, not as common. Luckily, Rachel Barton Pine was an advocate for Baroque, and definitely she was super juiced to find like a harpsichord or something in Angelo's office afterwards, like, yo, you guys got a little Baroque something going on. He's like, yee, he says, yee, the exact words, obviously. And then after like concert, she's like, yee. So he said yee, and she showed up, and just to help pay the way for these students. And she says, yo, no tickets at the door, don't sell no tickets, make it donations only. He's like, are you sure? I want your time to be worth it. She says, trust me. Just like Han Solo. They make $6,000 in one damn night, and she's coming back for a 3rd benefit. No! Silly cat. For a 3rd benefit concert for the Davis High School Baroque Ensemble. And she's going to be playing her ass off. And then in my article, I called it an experiential crescendo. It's going to be Rachel Barton Pine and her daughter Sylvia, and they're going to be kind of duetting the holy hell out of it. This world-class classical music going off this Friday at 7:30. Get there early. It's free of charge, but donate. Don't be a dick. Donate a little bit of money. Down, you little cat. Down, I say. Anyways. 7:30 at Davis High School. Just follow the hubbub when you get there. It's at one of their theater buildings, because they ballin'. And yeah, it's world-class music on a minuscule stage. This isn't possible that she's showing up here. She should be making millions any other day. She's around the United States. She's around the world. And a fun fact kind of story that Angela told me on the phone was she walks with a little bit of a limp. Why? Because apparently the violin that she has is on a lifetime loan to her by an anonymous patron. This thing it's not a Stradivarius, but it is of the same prestige of a Stradivarius. This woman's violin. It was made back in 1850s, and it priceless. And she was in a subway, and somehow it got away from her, and she went down to like save the violin. I guess saved it, but in the process lost her leg. lost her leg. When people say, oh, I'd give an arm and a leg for my profession or my passion or whatever, this woman literally gave her leg. Outrageous. Outrageous. I love it. She's a savage. That's what's going on in Davis. Woo! Rushing in the winners. Transitioning to winners. Man, okay. Coolest one to date. Not to date, but of late. Jordan Skaggs, this 13-year-old 8th grader going to Winters Middle School, is racing and winning mightily in side-by-side ATV races. It's just a one-seater. She's driving I think it's called an RS1, a Polaris, that's going up to 90 miles an hour. This is this 13-year-old girl hauling ass in Marysville and in different places, just local track legend, just whooping ass, taking names. And just to be going that fast and winning, it's just incredible. She seemed very intelligent and articulate young lady, an old soul. Like, she'll be the one in college who's sober, driving her drunk ass dormmate friends home because she's that responsible. She's just that, you could just tell. Her maturity level is way beyond probably her peers. But badass racer, and I guess late last month she got in a pretty bad wreck. It wasn't her fault, according to her dad. Somebody sideswiped her or some shit, but got in a wreck with this other person. She's A-okay, totals the vehicle, and then I guess the way the standings worked out, there was a race group who they were going to win it regardless. So helping her didn't matter. You do it because it's the right thing to do. And they're like, yo, so like, since we're going to win, like, here's some tools, here's some parts, like, let's try to get you back on the racetrack so you can get some points or whatever. And I guess the tradition is you show up to these places on Friday, you qualify, and then race all day Saturday, and you're just with these families, you're barbecuing, you're having tailgate parties or whatever every single weekend. And so these people came together to help get this car, Jordan's car, operational again. They got it to about 60%, the alignment was off, and it was only in 2-wheel drive. Homegirl finished in 3rd. Pulled it out, and I think finished 3rd in the season or something like that. But definitely just badass, and she's only get better and better as she gets older. So keep an eye out for Jordan Skaggs. I'm also covering sports for the Winners Express. Volleyball has had better seasons. I guess injuries are a factor, as they always are. Hopefully those gals start doing better. And then the swim team, they're just killing it. They're sharks. Water warriors, but they're sharks. Anybody going against them is going to get got. Wrote an article about Audrey's Fiesta Boutique in Winters. It is right next to El Pueblo on the left side at the corner where the ATM machine is. This lady, Maria Gutierrez, immigrated to Winters from Mexico in 1975. She has spent her whole life in Winters. She local as local can get. She worked in the field. She said about 12 seasons working for Mariani Nut, then worked at Tufts Ranch packing fruit, then worked at Lorenzo's Town and Country Market, then at Eagle Drug. She's worked everywhere in Winters. Get off that wall, cat, you silly little shit. Thank you. And then she worked, she said, 17 years in insurance. And all the while, she's like, I want to own my own business. I want to do my thing. She did her goddamn thing after her kids grew up, got out of the nest, 3 boys, 1 girl. There's like the name Audrey, that's her daughter's name. That's what she named the shop after. And she has a son in law enforcement, one's a doctor. Can't remember the third one. But this badass just decided to open her own thing. She likes working with people. She likes helping community and party. I don't think it's party planning, but she just facilitates so much in her shop. And just what she was saying, like, I didn't speak a word of English when I got here. She just busted her ass. Took her a long time. And she got the job done. Started her own business from the fields to owning and operating her own business at the corner. She has so much shit. She has authentic Mexican attire. She has huaraches, sombreros. You got the rooster belts. You got the alligator skin boots, cowboy hats, and then she also has rentals. She has some like the classical kind of mariachi band looking rentals, but also suits, quinceañera dresses, bridesmaids dresses, tuxedos for prom, and she has all those rentals there. And she has all those classic Catholic cherub. Oh my, I heard that one, kitty. The cherub, all the figurines. You have the St. Michael's with the spear fucking up Lucifer. You got just the classic figurines, of course. The the Virgin Mary paintings and stuff like that. Just the store is filled with so much. You got jewelry, you have shoes, you just have so much. He also does packaging services to Mexico and Central America and a worldwide money exchange. This lady has it all. Maria. Shout out to Maria Gutierrez. She's killing it. Another lady owner here in Winners. Badass. Another owner, 16 years in service. Art Guitar, right next to Turkovich Tasting Room, right between Turkovich and I think it's called the 618 Salon. And this guy, Al Calderon. As a wee lad, he heard the Beatles, was all sorts of inspired, and then I guess his neighbor had this like blue Stratocaster guitar, and he was just smitten. So he came to Winners like in the 90s and was the pastor at New Life Church, and then just transitioned full-time music. He taught himself how to play, taught himself how to build this shit, and he's just this badass dude who loves music. He loves teaching it. He repairs stuff. He repairs all the guitars, anything with strings except for the violin. But he's just about his craft. He's about his passion, and he's living his passion every single day. He's just literal brick and mortar building, sawdust on the ground. It smells of lacquer and just really, really cool. He also does lessons. Shout out to Art Guitar. Those are his initials of his dad and his grandpa. So it's sort of like a nod, a little homage to the legacy. That is he. Boy, howdy, Art Guitar. Oh boy, we also have an all-female FFA leadership team for the first time in the FFA's history here in Winners. In 1969, girls weren't even allowed to join the FFA, and look at us now here in 2022. But a bunch of baddies that are about to lead this chapter to a whole new world. When I talked to Kayla Roberts, the teacher, I guess it's Kayla Medeiros now. Congratulations, she got married. She's like, everything's super organized. Everything's just flows. It's always controlled chaos, but she's super proud of just how organized these ladies are. And she's also a little bummed out that the boys ain't stepping up to take on some sort of leadership role, just for not just diversity's sake, but for everybody who joins the organization. She wants everybody and their likeness represented. You want to see an extension of yourself as part of the leading group. And this is a well-oiled organization. Donnie Whitworth's done an incredible job over the years, as has Kayla, and it's just they're giving these kids every opportunity. Unfortunately, maybe I don't know if it's sports or other things getting in the way of these young men not stepping up to get into leadership positions. Hopefully they do, but until then, these ladies are gonna run the goddamn show. And going into it, man, didn't think I'd be getting into this, but I'm gonna dip my toes in this whole transgender pond, because in the back of my mind as I'm writing this, because it's just a classic girl power article, which like I'm about the ladies getting theirs, fuck yeah. And I'm like, is somebody gonna send me an email like, well, you don't know what a woman is, or whatever the narrative that is floating around of what men or women are or aren't, or anything in between. I think people should be, this is all my opinion, be proud of who you are, be what you are. Don't let anybody tell you what you are, what you aren't. It's just, oh my God. It's just so difficult to see people try to influence or make a child, someone 13 or 12, 10, even younger, to change who they are fundamentally through like surgery and hormone therapy and all that stuff. It's just like, I feel like we need to go through the crucible that is puberty. We need to have life experiences, possibly, and here's my suggestion, maybe 21 before you make any sort of wild, radical, irreversible surgical moves or taking medication that changes who you are from on a biological standpoint. It's just so difficult for me to see that go through, and I'm never one to tell someone you aren't this, you aren't that. And if you make it to 21 and are fully convinced and are just like, this is who I am, I've gone through enough of life experiences, then go. I'm all about it. Be who you are. Nobody should dictate who you are or what you are. But up until 21, Maybe like learn about it, be more knowledgeable of it. And if you're going through it, fucking good. Maybe you're supposed to be going through these struggles to find out who you are. Maybe you're gay. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're having a phase. Maybe you're having a really tough time finding out who you are. Maybe you haven't met the right people to help you figure that out. Maybe you haven't had the right enough conversations or life experiences. I feel like that should be a requisite before you make those types of decisions. And nobody should ever make them for you. Nor should you be gaslit into thinking that you're XYZ or elemental P for that reason, or any other letter on the alphabet. Whatever. Be who you are. Just, I guess, wait till you're 21 to make a decision. I don't think this has anything to do with FFA female leadership, and I haven't gotten any emails about it, and nor am I trying to offend anybody with my opinion, but it remains just that, my opinion, and I'll continue to educate myself more on this topic and issue, and let's just hope that the world can just be like, fuck it, let's live and let live. I just think you should be 21 before going through any sort of gender changing. Anyway, gender transitioning. Anyway. Didn't think I'd do it, but I did. I went there. So good on the FFA. Interviewed all those ladies, just badasses, ambitious, enthusiastic, and with full schedules and just ready. They're just ravenous for responsibility. Love it. Haunted Forest. The Haunted Forest right behind Green River. Super cool. The family that's putting it together, they're all advocates of theater, and they all play parts as you're going to get the living shit scared out of you. It's not a gore fest. It is kind of a psychological fucking of the mind. It's just so cool that they put it all together. Excuse me. And they're fully invested in their characters. They said there's some characters there to help you, some are there to eat you. And they're just going to pop out and harass and scare the holy hell out of you. What a unique experience. I can't wait to do it. And it was one of those things. I got a call from them. They thanked me for like spot on describing their, like what they are, who they are, and what they stand for. They're super into the Halloween lore. Their family's always been about that, pranks and tricks and just having fun with it. Didn't mean to kiss my own ass there for a minute, but I did get that call. That's why I also got a letter from Bubble Belly. When I get affirmation unsolicited from people that I've written articles about, I like that I was able to positively impact their mission, their passion, their goals, and that makes me very happy to help facilitate that. And this was one of those instances, and I can't wait to do the Haunted Forest. I'll be nervous going into it, but I think it'll be a fun experience, and I'll do another podcast. Después the experience. Oh boy, Haunted Forest. Oh, and then I was gonna do a diversion, but we're already a half hour into it. I guess I could touch on it a little bit. About a month ago, this diversion from the main topic. That's all I want to talk about paper-wise. But, you know, as a journalist, I guess I can talk about what journaling means to me, because I realized it like about halfway through this notebook, but I had a journal that I've had with me for quite some time, a number of years, because there'll be times where I don't journal as often as I should, which should be daily, and I'm going through one of those little times right now where I'm not journaling daily, maybe once every couple weeks or once a month, and I look back at the date that I last journaled, I'm like, God damn it, Aaron, get your poop together. And it helped me through so much. It's like a personal therapy session where sometimes your hand just goes off and starts writing down words, kind of you're unconscious of it, of just how these words are coming to mind. Then on paper, it's like your inner self is talking to yourself through these words. You're just kind of sitting there reading like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You just got to open up and be real with yourself, and nobody has to read this shit. And it's just for you. There's been times where I'm just digging into the paper. That's what I felt like that day, or I just rip some paper out of it, just that salty. I've been raging trying to do it, and I'm just like, fuck, I have to throw it or whatever. And there's bumps and bruises on that journal, and there's also a lot of real moments. There's happy moments, and you go back and you're like, wow, that's where I was emotionally. That's like in a chronicling of the emotional chapters you go through. Saw it through an X and beyond, and just going and how I'm dealing with other certain things, the pandemic and whatnot, fucking still reeling from that shit. It's just, to journal is universal. It's for everybody. If you think you're not a writer, bull honky. just start scribbling. There's a difference between writing and letting anybody else ever read the words that you put to paper, because you could burn that paper as soon as you're done. Read it over. Hell, you don't even have to read it. You don't even have to read it. Once you're done, time to burn it. Boom. At least you got the art, the act of writing out, and it's a beautiful thing. And no matter what happens in this world, electricity or no, Wi-Fi or no, writing and creating is its own sort of freedom, and it is just, do not take it for granted. I know I did all the way throughout college, and now it's something that I do as not only as a passion but as a profession. And anybody else out there, just oh my god, find a prompt online, something silly, and write about it. Oh my god, it's so much fun, and you just get lost in it. I mean, maybe you don't get off on it as much as I do. Writing, journaling, just have at it, because it's something you can do for free 99, and you're going on a journey. Put on some music and just jam. Pour yourself a little glass of whiskey, maybe take a toke, whatever you got to do. Get those creative gears turning and grease those ideas. It just spilled all over the page. Go off. Have fun. Write, damn you. That is my message. Kit Kat, what are you doing? You're just chilling down here. It's time to say goodbye. You're just resting behind the painting. All right, so, well, that's it for this podcast. The next one will either be with Ms. Hugh, Brentley, or Resendo. I got some guests on the lineup, but just not sure which order. But with me, as always, of recently, Kit Kat, I love you. And I love all you. Thanks for listening. Have a tremendous day, and read the Winners Express. Read the Davis Enterprise. Read everything I have to write, damn you. Pick up what I'm putting down. Bye.
You lose! Good day, sir!